The stop sign versus the blank screen.
Quite an interesting pairing of matches. Lots of horizontal possibilities. You can see Watchteaz already going to town on some of them over there. Meanwhile, a Savage Octagon's got a much more balanced board and nice hole in the middle that has most of the viruses near the bottom, so there won't be a huge amount of drop time, particularly if she can take out that center blue with some blue reds. But right now, it is Watchteaz is a very minor lead. Just needs a little bit of red to really start going to town on this board.
Yeah, Watchteaz has had a really interesting board here. I've liked Savage's board a lot better. She's been able to not have to bring stuff down to the bottom, which does take some time. She does take a little bit of drop time here, but it's going to result in a clear of a red virus. So really nice play there. 7 viruses now for Savage versus Watchteaz now down to 10. And he's got his board is not bad. He's just spired there in his column 3, but that's not going to be a huge deal. And I love that combo that he just made to get those yellows. But is Savage going to be out first of this level at a 113?
Yeah, the biggest thing that's been slowing Watchteaz down is just the lack of reds. But here's a double red mix, and he gets out at a 127, so he's staying pretty close into it. I'm not a huge fan though. The top of that board with not a lot of red opportunities. Hopefully he. Ooh, that was I think a misdrop there. But oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe he just wanted to show off with a T. It's hard to tell sometimes with Watchteaz what he's up to. But in the meantime, Savage Octagon is just destroying this board with combo after combo.
Yeah, Savage has done a really nice job so far. Now going to be a little bit red dependent, though, to get down to the mid game of this board. Looking down at the bottom of her board, her row 1 is completely empty. So she's going to have to be a little bit careful on how she elects to clear out the bottom there. And she might be dealing with some drop time. But as of right now, we have a tie game here. Watchteaz might have a slight lead, actually. And as we watch Tease, get that sweet tea.
Yes, and he's just really he has a much easier one in my opinion than Savage Octagon does for the end game. Because yeah, he has columns 1 and 8, but they're very nice paired up. While got the steeple bottom for Savage Octagon, which means a lot of drop time is going to be coming in a lot of those, unless she can get just the perfect combinations. Right, excuse me. Right now, Watchteaz just needs a couple more reds, and they will be out at a 257. But Savage Art going to be out right afterwards at a 259. So really close match.
Yeah, they've essentially changed places. Watchteaz was a few seconds behind Savage at the beginning of 8. Now Savage, or 7, excuse me. Now Savage just a couple seconds behind Watchteaz going into 8. This is really exciting. And looking at these boards, I like Watchteaz is better in this situation. His viruses are a little bit more placed together, but he does have the lack of blue at the top, which is not always entirely a bad thing. As we know, blue is the least common pill that you are going to see in this version of the game. And so far, it's working out for him. He hasn't gotten a lot of blue, been getting a lot of yellow, a lot of red. Love that undertuck to get the horizontal. Really nice play there by Watchteaz.
Yeah, Watchteaz though right now is getting a little bit of well, it looked like he might have almost be starting a double blue blitzer. He's gotten with that 4 the last 5 pills to a double blue, something you don't see every day. Meanwhile, Savage is really in a good position here to clear out a lot of this board real quickly. She has just 1 red virus left, a couple of blue. It's almost all yellow. She can get the right pill. There's a double blue right there. She can pretty much take everything out in pretty much any combination she wishes.
Yeah, now just down to completely yellow for both players, actually. It's just going to come down to who gets them first. It is going to be Watchteaz out at a 431. But Savage, again, just about 4 seconds behind at a 435 going into the final level. It could be anybody's game here as Savage Octagon already setting up for some really nice plays here. Might have been going for a horizontal blue initially, but the pills did not work out in her favor, so we'll see what she does with that.
Speaking of seeing what they're going to pull for a while, I was trying to figure out what it was that Watchteaz was trying to do with all those blues on the left side of the board, but they were setting everything up for a nice horizontal there. Unfortunately, it does leave a little bit of potential for significant drop time. They don't get the pieces they need for columns 1 and 4 there, which could cause a little bit of a slowdown here and there. Meanwhile, Savage Octagon has a really nice compact board. There's not a lot of holes underneath these viruses, meaning drop time is going to be minimal, if potentially non-existent.
Yeah, Savage has done a really nice job navigating this board, but a really nice play there by Watchteaz to clear out some of that in the center of his board. His board's looking a lot better now, but needing yellows and blues to really get down to the nitty gritty in this board. This double red going to be really nice for him. It does exactly what I thought he was going to do. Takes the clears in his columns 5 and 6. That double blue also really fortuitous for him, but Savage Octagon just needing 1 more yellow, 2 more blues. She has stormed back in this level 9. Oh, come on, game. There we go. Gets the blues out at a 6-14. She does take game 1.
Yeah, right near the end, she had a beautiful into a drop that took out, I think, 7 viruses in one fell swoop there, which really solidified her victory in this first match. Looks like Watchteaz is going to try finishing this off, and it's that double blue. They will be out at a 6:39.
6:39, still a respectable time for Watchteaz. But again, it is Savage that takes game number 1. We have the GGs in the chat, our players congratulating each other. We already have it ready from Savage Octagon. Watchteaz hoping to force her into a decider.
Yeah, it's been Savage Octagon knows all about deciders. She has played in a lot of them over time.
Mm-hmm. And not only deciders, but ties too. As we have our 3-2-1 pills.
If I recall, she was also part of the very first tie, wasn't she?
She was indeed. The first couple, I think, actually.
Is that a portent of things to come? We'll have to wait and see. As I'm looking at these boards, I am a slightly bit concerned with the lack of red on Savage Octagon's board, considering that red does seem to show up fairly frequently, but she does seem to be able to maneuver around it just fine, while Watchteaz's board is very balanced and getting the pills that he needs for lots of combos. This could be a very fast level 6 for both players if this keeps up.
Yeah, I've been loving each and everything that Watchteaz has done with his board. It is starting to get a little bit left heavy, but it's really not going to be that bad, especially as low as his board is. It's looking actually pretty good for him, just needing some blues to open up the rest of this board. Love that drop there to get the garbage onto the blue in his column 3. Going to be able to open this up perfectly. We'll see what he does with the yellow. And he did exactly what I thought he might do, which is clear out the yellow vertically rather, and leave those blues at the bottom to get the horizontal if he wanted it. And he is signaling that he still does want it, but now he's going to have to go vertically as the red does block it off. Just going to need 1 more red. He is out at a 127. Savage Octagon not too far behind, just needing 3 more yellows.
Yeah, and looking at the again, it's been notice it's in most of the matches today. There's been a lack on one side or the other, and it seems like the right side of the board is very empty for Watchteaz, which he's clearing out that side pretty quickly. But that's because that was the pills that he's been given. Might, depending on how things go, that could give him a nice place for dump pieces if he doesn't need them. But look at how Savage Octagon has just destroyed the top of this board, keeping this very close. She's only about, well, now 6 viruses behind, but she's about to cut that down again. She is just, both these people are blazing through it. As a blink and you might miss it with all these combos.
Yeah, both players doing a really nice job in this level 7. Watchma's got one of those boards that I like. I sometimes will call it a thinker board. He's really having to work at making those combos. You see this setup that he's got in the middle of his board in his columns 4 to about 6. Not quite elaborate as I expected it was going to be, but he cleans that up really nicely. Just going to need a lot of red to get down to the bottom of this board and eventually clear it out. Looking over at Savage's side, she's doing a really nice job here as well. Neither player going to be out at sub 3, which is really the time that they're shooting for, but it's really nice. Love that play by Savage Octagon to get the double drop horizontal. Really nice play there.
Yeah, it was an absolutely beautiful combo. Right now, Watchteaz just needs a little bit of luck with the reds. Oh, I see what they're going to do. They're going to go horizontal there. They just need one more yellow, and they are out at a 317. But Savage Octagon was out at a 316, I think it was. So this is, again, a very close matchup between the two of them. And right away, you can see Savage Octagon just destroying the pills at the top, trying to get to some yellow, as there's not a large number of them on the board at all, but especially at the top, trying to make certain that she can keep her board as diverse as possible. Meanwhile, over on Watchteaz's side, it's a pretty balanced board for the most part. Not a lot of places for combinations unless you do some really fancy maneuvering, which we are seeing them do right now.
Yeah, Watchteaz has done a really nice job with this board. Unfortunately for him, so has Savage, already down to 11 viruses remaining on her side. She's just done a great job, and the RNG has definitely worked in her favor so far. We'll see if it continues to do that for her. She's got some really nice setups here in her in-game. Has the opportunity to either take those reds in her row 4 horizontally or do what she just did there and take some vertical clears, which was actually the right decision because now she just needs 2 more reds to get this red vertically from underneath out at a 436 for Savage Octagon into the final level.
Yeah, meanwhile, I almost said Watchteaz. Watchteaz is having a little bit of issues there, but managed to drop everything down. Just needs a couple reds here real quickly, and they will be out of the level. They just need a couple more reds. Meanwhile, Savage Octagon again has got a board that has a couple of high-hanging pills. It could cause a little bit of issue, but she manages to bring most of it down, leaving just that one pill that I think she put in backwards, but very easy to clean out. As for Watchteaz, he's going to do a nice little drop to get some of those high-ranking pills out of the way.
Yeah, and it was a really nice job by Savage to clear up that misdrop. Fortunately, she was able to clear the red blues underneath, and it fell exactly where she needed to have very minimal garbage. It's a really nice play by Savage, down to 16 viruses now, now down to 15 in her level 9. Looking pretty good with a 19, now 18 virus lead over Watchteaz, who's got a interesting board here. The blues and the yellow is going to be really nice for him. This double red, perfect, gets that T. Really nice play. Is starting to bring this back here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's got a board with a lot of ways to take off multiple viruses at once, while not so much for Savage Octagon. They are all bundled together, but not in a way that you can take off very quickly. That does give Watchteaz a chance to try getting back into this. And right now, it's a tie game. This is getting very exciting.
Indeed, it is. Savage does have the opportunity to maybe horizontally de-sandwich these reds, and she does. I like to call that a flatbread de-sandwich. But she is so close here to being out of this level 9. 4 viruses to 3 viruses. It's just going to come down to who gets the red first. Savage only needs 1 more. Watchman needing more than that. Now only 2 more for Watchman, but it is going to be Savage out at a 652 as Watchteaz unfortunately does misdrop, but clears out at a 659.